Good evening, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your fourth and final video blog of July 1st, 2014. It's around 8:15 in Billerica, Massachusetts. The sun's going down. It's going to be very humid tonight. Dew points are going to be very sky high. It's going to be oppressive humidity. And we're going to do this thing again tomorrow with more hazy, hot, and humid stuff. And then maybe some thunder showers Thursday, and we might get some effects of Hurricane Arthur on Friday. It might wipe out 4th of July festivities. We have to see if that's going to happen or not. Anyway, on to a little tidbit of news. ESPN will be carrying the Nathan's hot dog eating contest from at the 4th of July in New York City for 10 more years. They just signed a deal with Major League Eating, and it will be on the worldwide leader of sports until the year 2024. Hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July is real popular, and the ratings have been getting very sky high for a hot dog eating contest. I wouldn't want to do a hot dog eating contest, any other eating contest, because you could get very sick if you eat it so much food in so much time. But I bet a lot of people do it have a lot of metabolism's very tolerant to that. But I wouldn't want to do it because you could get very sick and it's gross and disgusting. But a lot of people have been doing a lot of hot dog eating contests and other food eating contests over the past years, and it's getting to be real popular. I don't know why. Maybe something to watch on television. Anyway, my last profile of the night is a personality profile, and this is somebody who everybody likes in Canada because today's Happy Canada Day. It's Canada Day, and my personality profile is legendary CBC broadcaster Don Cherry. Don Cherry has been on CBC Sports, Hockey Night in Canada, Coach's Corner for over 30 years. Don Cherry was a journeyman minor league hockey player for many years. He only played one NHL game with the Boston Bruins, a playoff game in 1955. He was a journeyman minor league defenseman. He went from town to town. He was pretty good playing defense, but he never got a chance to play in the NHL on a regular basis because the NHL only had 6 teams back then. And he was an okay defenseman, but he couldn't crack the big time because the NHL back then was the best of the best. And during the end of his journeyman career, one of the places you could make a good coach in. And when Don's playing career ended, he became a coach first for the Rochester Americans in the AHL for 3 years. Then in 1974, he became coach of the Boston Bruins, and for 5 years, he coached the Bruins to win 231 hockey games. And plus, the Bruins had a reputation as a lunch pail gang and stuff. They were a gritty team and stuff like that. They made the playoffs every year, and they made the Cup final since 1977 and 1978, but they lost to the Montreal Canadiens. And in 1979, the Bruins made the playoffs again, and they forced Game 7 for the Canadiens in the semifinals of Stanley Cup playoffs. And they were up 2 goals, but that was the infamous, the infamous too many men on the ice game, and that cost Don Cherry his job with the Bruins. Then he went 1 year to Colorado Rockies, which was an NHL team back then. Now they're the New Jersey Devils. Coached for them for 1 year, but the Rockies were the worst team in the NHL, and he was fired after that. Then he went into broadcasting, first as like an analyst for CBC Sports Stanley Cup playoffs in 1980. Then they signed him full-time to do some playoff games, color commentating, and some playoff and regular season games. And then I think around the mid-80s, he started his Coach's Corner in between periods of the Hockey Night in Canada, which became real popular. He and Ron McLean talked about some great plays and stuff like that. And also, Don Cherry has a lot of patriotism. He talks about the troops for the Canadian National Army, and even he says some stuff about the United States Army and stuff like that. He's real colorful. He has outrageous, like, shirts and ties and stuff like that. And he's written so many books, and he's done so many videos and DVDs. And he's so popular in Canada. He's never won the Order of Canada, which is the highest honor a Canadian citizen to get. He's one of the most famous Canadians never to get that honor, and plus he hasn't been recognized in the Hockey Hall of Fame yet in the broadcasting wins, but 2015 will be the year they honor Don Cherry to win the Forrest Hewitt Memorial Award for broadcasting excellence for the Hockey Hall of Fame. It's going to happen, folks, 2015, and Don Cherry will continue to do Coach's Corner for CBC's Hockey Night in Canada, produced by Rogers Sportsnet, beginning next year. And that's all I got to say tonight. Good night, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. I'll be back again tomorrow for at least 3 to as much as 6 video blogs. All depends if there's breaking news, or depends on my schedule, depends what I have talked about in mind. But you at least will get 3 videos, morning, noon, and night. And maybe extra ones if it's warranted. This is Rich. Good night, Facebook friends, and see you tomorrow.